Приветушки-плюшки, я Тори, а это Enderal, и мы продолжаем. Мы наконец-то дошли до людей. Ну, город у меня почему-то не открыт до сих пор. Или это просто таверна, не знаю. Вон, мне вон туда надо, наверх. Тут дом. Да, все, открылась деревня. Наконец-то, люди. Ура! Я еще себе еды прикупила. Мне бы еще продать все. Да так.
This is about his death, isn't it? The rampage.
Да вроде бы.
Of course, who hasn't? Yarrow was one of us, after all. It is terrible. Simply terrible. You want to hear an old man's opinion, though? I always expected that something like this would happen.
Чему?
Malthus, forgive me for talking about a keeper like that, but it's the truth. Hard to explain, really. Come on, let's find somewhere to sit. It'll be easier to talk that way.
Ну пойдем, только не убивай меня. Подожди, хочу оружку убрать пока что. Фига у меня луков. Блин, выгляжу как бомж какой-то, конечно.
Well, Yarrow. That's quite a subject, you know. You were right when you said we were best friends. Our fathers knew each other. For as long as I can remember, Yarrow and I were getting into trouble together. At least, until his mother died. No. Bandits killed her in broad daylight on Penny Road. Today these incidents are common, but not back then. The road was considered safe. Very safe. She was on her way to Ark, accompanied by 3 other women, and they were set upon at the pass. None of them survived. Yarrow was shattered. I think the worst part was how his father went downhill after his wife's death. The fishery decayed, and the poor guy filled his days with boozing and sleeping. It changed Yarrow forever. Well, that's a good question. On the one hand, he became a man, despite his tender age. On the other hand, something inside him woke up, so to speak. A desire to make more of his life. Old Mother Jenica noticed it and took him under her wing. He learned how to read and write, and soon he knew all the holy verses by heart. When he didn't have to help his drunken father, he helped in the village as much as he could. Indeed, that's one way to look at it. It wasn't long before he was the jewel of the village, the striving young fisherman destined for great things, even though he was only on the path of a manufacturer. And then the inevitable happened. A keeper of the order came to Riverville to see the prodigy with his own eyes. And behold, in addition to Yarrow's ingenuity, he also had a slumbering magical talent. The keeper took him away, and a few months later, he started his novitiate. Since then, I've only seen him once or twice, as he rarely visited Riverville. I don't think he ever noticed how much that hurt me. If one of the manufacturers makes it to Sergeant of the Guard, it's reason enough for a bard song. He must have been the first novice in centuries who was not of the sublime path. So yes, it is uncommon.
Короче, тут у каждого свое предназначение.
Oh, it's hard to explain. I believe it was the way he was talking about his grand plans. How he wanted to make the world a better place, to become the greatest keeper since Lorem Waterblade. Underneath all this, there was an anger. An anger mixed with deep grief and disappointment. I don't think he was aware of it because he drew all his strength from that anger. The strength to do all this, to learn and to work day and night, but it frightened me, like the Blue Death. It slumbers inside the pathless mage who believes he can master magic without the Order's help. At first, it grants power, but then, one day, it bursts out in an unholy wave of destruction, turning him into one of the monsters in the old songs. Anyway, I'm just an old man. What do I know about these matters?
Он же все-таки
Now
был
let
твоим
me go to
другом.
sleep, my dame. All these memories are making me weary.
Спасибо,
Yes,
Юля.
of course.
Так, ну что ж, хоть что-то мы узнали. Мне
Be
надо.
careful, my dame. The streets aren't safe at this hour.
Мне нужно продать весь хлам, который я натырила. Тю. Арк. Так, стоп. Отсюда я пришла. О, ты что делаешь? Ты что тут танчишь? У тебя все нормально.
Oh, I sense vibrations. Horrible, bad vibrations. Oh, yes, I feel them very strongly.
Тетя, ты чё?
Oh, yes, something peculiar surrounds you. Your aura. Oh, by Malthus, no!
Чё, все плохо?
It is indigo blue, the color of the dying. It must be a magical anomaly, but still, that doesn't bode well.
Типа торговать-то можно.
You're lucky. The stars are on your side.
Ну так еще бы.
I, just like you, find myself in deep trouble. And maybe we can help each other.
Так. Как ты мне
I
можешь
have a
помочь?
special object in stock. A skull.
Так.
According to the legends, it comes from the midst of the Kiran Desert, and us arcanists refer to it as the Master Skull. It is a risky experiment, but at midnight, if you balance the skull on your head for 1 full hour, it might help to
Звучит как
reharmonize your
ересь.
aura.
Мы попробуем. Да корова не толкайся.
It's
Хорошо.
simple. A couple of days ago, something precious was stolen from me. My beauty potion. And until yesterday, I was in the
Кто-то должен
dark.
быть очень красивый сейчас.
A vision has shed light onto the matter. It was an aura thief. Yes, old beings from past times, way before the Pyreans. For common eyes, they are invisible, but we, spiritually gifted, can see them. Aura thieves only have one reason for existence, and that is to disrupt harmony by playing horrible pranks on innocent people, such as the theft of my potion. Now you
Ладно.
how could you?
Что за зелье
Yes,
красоты?
its essence is fresh water directly from the sources of Inodan.
Просто вода?
A real rarity, you see. But it is as potent as it is exquisite. To those who drink it regularly, the potion grants both an otherworldly allure, as well as it completely stops natural aging. And before you ask, yes, Only through the elixir was I able
А
to
сколько тебе
maintain
лет-то?
my
Я же даже не
youthful
знаю.
beauty over all these years.
Дамочка, конечно, странная. Ну, давайте
I
попробуем.
have a suspicion. Yesterday, when I danced at the river, I heard a voice out of nowhere whispering right into my ear, and it only said 6 words. Find me in the Clearwater Cave. I'm sure it was the potion who spoke to me, but I'm too old to go exploring old caves like this one on my own, which is sad since said
Я
cave
надеюсь,
is
это не
only
какая-то
a few minutes
ловушка.
march from the village. It's an abandoned mine just up the hill that leads to the pass. Go there and find my potion, and I will reward you
Слушайте, мы мимо
most
этого места
generously.
проходили.
Not
Торговать-то!
now. You'll disturb the flow of my energy.
Ну, пока мы с ней болтали, тут уже и время вроде подошло. Пойдемте уж к торговцам, наконец. Я знаю, что нам туда, и хочу пройти по низу. Что-нибудь тут есть? Или нет, я оттуда пришла. Да, я же сюда пришла. Дядя.
Walk blessed, my child.
Ой, давай расскажи
What it
что-нибудь.
is? Now that's quite the question you're asking there. But fine, why not? The path is 2 things. For one, it is the name of holy writing that encompasses both the
Хватит
revelation of
хрюша.
the Lightborn after the fall of the Eterna King Azataron, and the journey of the first vassals
такая
to
смешная, не могу.
Enderal, who founded this country under Malphas's guidance. It also tells us the virtue of the path, the ideals by which every Endralean should live, which is the only way to salvation. Secondly, it is the holy calling of each Endralean citizen. You are
Понятно.
welcome, child. Walk blessed.
Да, мне же еще надо вылечиться у кого-то. Я же болею. Ты кто?
What a beautiful day, isn't it?
О, пошли, пошли, мне надо купить, да, пошли.
And I'm gonna explore the entire
Ты уже
world.
продаешь?
Have you heard? Nirem has been united again,
Да пофиг
but their
мне.
leader must be a monster.
Во. Гази, наконец-то. Мистер.
Oh, hello. I haven't seen you around here before. Just take a look around. Oh, a bit of this and that. Feel free to take a look.
Хорошо. У него вроде полно всякого.
Go to Ark. Everything's supposed to be so huge.
Сверкающие, говоришь? Ты кто такая?
Hey, wait a minute, you...
Чё?
Never mind.
Ты же жена мэра.
Oh, you're an outlander, aren't you? From Kile. Your skin, it looks,
Такая же, как твоя.
I mean no offense, really. I'm just, well, curious. Narum, you say? Huh. But still, your mother must have told you a lot about her homeland, didn't she? Say, is it true that on Kile, even the door handles of the slum houses are coated with gold? I've heard the Blue Islands Coalition is so rich that they
Честно,
can
я
afford
без
to command a
понятия.
mercenary army large enough to fight an army of seraphs.
Ну, так,
Huh.
наверное.
I see. That's too bad.
Ну
You
да.
know, once this chaos in the world is over, I want to go
Что,
travel
видимо,
myself.
дочь мэра
Who
какая-нибудь.
knows? Maybe a captain will hire me as a deckhand. Anyway, thanks for your time. Walk blessed.
А кто меня может вылечить-то? Меня же за жопу укусили крысы. Ты не знаешь?
You're an outlander,
А,
aren't
мы
you?
что
From
разговаривать.
Kile.
Дядя.
Your skin, it looks
You're not from Riverville, are you?
different.
What do you want?
Тебя тут говорят, жена болеет.
Is that so? What does that have to do with yourself? How noble of you. But how do I know you're not a quack? I know nothing about you.
Да, в магии-то я понимаю,
All right, then.
конечно.
I suppose it can't get any worse than it already is.
А если я
Come,
ничего не смогу
let's go
сделать?
upstairs.
Выгонят меня отсюда. С самыми тряпками. Давай быстрее, дядя. Надеюсь, там жена меня не укусит. Я и так уже болею.
Take a
Farewell.
seat.
Так, ну допустим.
Well then, let's keep this short. For 3 moons now, Matilda has been hearing voices. Sometimes during the day, sometimes at night. There is no pattern. According to what she told me when she was still lucid, the voices seem to come from the sea. And it's a mixture of pleading, screams, and weeping.
Ну да, галюны.
Maybe so. Or maybe it is some kind of a ghost, or a magical anomaly. Only Malphus knows. Since the night she first heard the voices, however, her health has been worsening. At first she lost her appetite. Then she started vomiting. To make things even worse, she now has a fever that gets more dire by the minute. Father Vildus is clueless. And even the 2 apothecarius, who quickly passed through the village, said they don't know
Короче,
what's wrong with
поехала
her.
тетя.
She has even stopped recognizing me
Надо
lately,
помочь.
and talking to her has become impossible. I don't want to lie, stranger. I just don't know what to do anymore. If it keeps going like this, Matilda will not see the turn of the year.
Hmm.
No.
Так.
According to what she said to me when she was still lucid, they are just a babble of voices, and a horrible one at that. Yes, and the times when she hears them are her only waking moments. She then starts screaming, on, flailing around as if the Black Guardian stood before her. It's horrible to see her like that. My brother Meldor is a traveling arcanist, and has already examined the house for magical anomalies, all to no avail. Whatever causes these voices, it only affects her. No, not in the least. You know, Matilda is such a good person. If it is a ghost that has possessed her, then it must be a cruel one who only wants to see her in pain.
Интересно.
And if it's a disease, then Malphus shall be damned for making her suffer like this. I'm sorry. I should not have said that.
Да.
You. Maybe it helps if you were there for one of these seizures. I don't feel comfortable about it, but if it could help, we have to give it a try. Just come back in a few hours' time. It hasn't been too long since she had the last one. Give me a moment with her until then, all right? My brother Meldor will let you in once it's time.
Слушайте, как удобно. Я думала, сейчас придется
hello.
ждать.
You're the visitor Dugar told me about, right? The Outlander?
Угу.
Well, as ready as we can be. As Dugar probably told you, the seizures happen arbitrarily, but more often around this time. Come, follow me. While I do appreciate your endeavours, I'm a little sceptical as to what good it will do. Whatever is wrong with Matilda is not ordinary. But I suppose some chance is better than none, isn't it?
Знаете что? Я подозреваю, что сейчас будет что-то прям будет такое. Что здоровье. Надо, короче, что-нибудь. Что-то, наверное, вот этот толчок. Чтобы ко мне не подходило. Я просто не хочу ее убивать, если, дай бог, придется.
Thank you, Meldor. And thank you for not changing your mind. It could happen any minute now. Just take a seat and wait. And I warn you,
Слушайте, она красивая.
this is not going to be pleasant. Oh, Matilda.
Чё себе даже интерфейс пропал.
No, please. No.
Oh, and here we go.
They are coming. They are coming back. No, 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 please don't.
Чё?
There's no other way. Pentas.
Что это было?
So? You mean you heard the voices? What are you? Some kind of medium?
Я вообще не знаю, что это.
Pentas? I don't know, but...
That was the fisherman, don't you remember? The one who collaborated with the brigands and was killed when he tried to resist the arrest.
Ah, yes, of course. And his companion drowned herself afterwards. Poor thing. But I don't understand. What, by the righteous path, does that have to do with Matilda's sickness? Something tells you this, I see. If the circumstances were any different, I would take you for a quack, trying to win my favor. But you seem honest, and I shouldn't leave anything untested. Meldor, where was that fisherman's house again?
I have a map.
Then give it to her.
Of course, brother.
If Pentas really has anything to do with this, you should take a look at his old house. It should be abandoned. And now excuse me, both of you. I need some time for myself.
Ну да, изи. Все это ты мне ничего не скажешь?
Here, this is the map. His house isn't far from the village, but you should be careful nonetheless. I don't need to tell you that the animals have grown savage recently. This red madness, or whatever they call it. As I said, he was a traitor. He collaborated with the brigands on the Penny Road. He played innocent, but eventually the guards found out and tried to arrest him. Well, as it happened, he tried to play Lorem Waterblade and attacked them, which didn't go well for him. His wife couldn't cope with that, so she took her life. A tragic story, but it was his choice. That's life. This Holy Order, by the gods, you really do have Outlander written all over your face. But no, I am not. I have, as all the magically gifted have, passed the walk to the water, but I didn't qualify to become a keeper or a magister. And to be honest, I didn't want to either.
Так,
A free Arcanist, as are many others. But with all due respect, I think we should save the talk for later.
Ладно,
Matilda's
сейчас я пойду.
condition gets worse by the minute.
Пойдем, в общем, сейчас спасать. Здорово. Ну, можно немножко запасил. Тогда у нас будет 106. Ладно, пока в здоровье все. Все вкачиваем пока в здоровье. И в следующей серии мы уже продолжим. Будем спасать эту бедную женщину. Мне интересно, что вообще с ней происходит. Надеюсь, вам тоже. Всем спасибо за просмотр. Ставьте лайки, пишите комментарии, подписывайтесь. И всем пока.